Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today, and it's an exciting day for two legions in our riding, and always a pleasure to have a federal minister with us to make these announcements. We'll have a few minutes at the end for a couple of questions from our media members, and I'd like to start things off by introducing the Honourable MP Anthony Rota to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Matt. And hello, everyone. Bonjour. Good morning. It's a great day to have the communities of Cobalt and Mattawa here online this morning. As we all know, COVID-19 has affected almost every aspect of our daily lives. And that's something that I think as Canadians, we're coping very well with. And we can see all of us coming together. Might not be in person, it might not be the same, but we're making it happen. And that's what matters. And it really is a good thing. Now, we see things happen everywhere, and that includes our Legion members who have done so much for us over the years. And that's why I'm pleased that today's announcement supports not one but two Legion branches in Nipissing, Timiskaming. Il aidera à certaines opérations et couvrir les coûts de dépenses quotidiennes que ces légions doivent payer. Nos légions offrent des services de soutien et d'approvisionnement à nos anciens combattants et aident ces directions générales à continuer d'exercer leur activité. Et c'est une grande partie de notre société et c'est une petite manière de montrer notre reconnaissance de leur service. These funds will help daily expenses and repairs around the region and around the Legion, and help the services that veterans so much rely on. So this also supports our commitment to support veterans and their families, and the Legion is such a central part of that to so many veterans. But I could go on for a while, but I'll get right to the announcement. So I'm happy to have this opportunity to offer a warm Nipissing Timiskaming welcome to my friend and colleague, the Honourable Lawrence MacAulay, the Minister of Veterans Affairs and Associate Minister of Defense. Lawrence, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Anthony, and good morning, Mayor Atimer and Mrs. Gallup as well. It's always a pleasure to spend time with the speaker, and to make an announcement with him is even that much better. And what the announcement is for is so great. The past year has been incredibly challenging for a lot of us, and the pandemic has had an impact on all parts of our society. For many of our veterans, it's been particularly hard. Isolation can be tough on those struggling with physical or mental injuries they suffer from while being in uniform. Others in long-term care are experiencing homelessness during the pandemic. It's been difficult for many of our veterans, but it's also been difficult for our organizations that work so hard to support our veterans. Right across the country, there are groups that go above and beyond to help, in order to help the folks who have stepped forward to serve us, to preserve peace and democracy. These organizations change lives, and in many cases, they save lives. Many of them are staffed by volunteers, and most of them rely on donations to be able to continue the vital work that's so important. But the pandemic has made that work difficult also. Fundraising has been a challenge. Yet there are still veterans to support and bills for these organizations to pay. The Veterans Organizations Emergency Fund, $20 million in total, was created to help the organization that helps our veterans. Of that $20 million, $14 million was allocated to the Royal Canadian Legion to be distributed across branches across the country that are still facing some financial difficulty. The Legion branches are some of the most important partners in supporting veterans and their families. And also the Legion branches here and on the island and right across the country are cornerstones to community activities. So far, hundreds of branches have received funding to help them keep the lights on and continue the vital work that they do. Today, I'm pleased to announce that Branch 44 in Cobalt and Branch 254 in Mattawa have received nearly $11,000 each through the Veterans Organizations Emergency Support Fund. Anthony has told me about how vitally important these branches are, and I'm very glad to be able to provide them with the support they need through this pandemic. We owe our veterans a lot. They signed up to take a risk, and they wear our flag on their shoulder. But as we weather the most significant challenges we've faced in quite some time, in fact, it's the most significant challenge I would say any of us have ever faced that's alive in this country today, we also need to make sure the folks who serve our veterans are able to continue. And that was Anthony's concern. Today's funding will make sure that they will be there now and for many years to come. Again, a great pleasure to be with Anthony and, of course, with Legion groups that do so much to support our veterans. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Minister MacAulay. I'm going to invite Diane Gallup, the representative for Branch 254 in Mattawa, to say a few words.
Thank you. Our veterans and members have been very worried about our Legion and how we were going to pay our bills. We've been doing a whole bunch of renovations in the last couple of years that we've totally done through donations from our members. And our engagements were going up, and now we had to cancel all those engagements. But the community, I just have to say, has stepped up hugely in our area. And we've gotten a lot of donations from them, and they've really stepped up and recognized the importance of the Legion in our community. So that was so nice to see. Unfortunately, right as soon as this started, we discovered we had a leak in our roof. So now we've temporarily patched it, but this donation that we're receiving is certainly going to help us make our final fixes for our roof. So that's where the money's going for us in our community, is going to be. They were so happy to hear. My crew of volunteers are made up mainly of our veterans, and they're looking forward to being able to put that money to good use. So again, thank you so much for considering us.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Diane. I'm now going to invite Mayor George Othmer of Colbert to say a few words about the funding.
Okay, thank you very much, Matt. Cobalt.
Excuse me,
Okay, no problem.
Cobalt.
Yeah, best little town you know. Good morning, Minister Rota and Minister MacAulay, and my esteemed colleague Diane. On behalf of Royal Canadian Legion Branch 44 Cobalt, I want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for this these funds that you're giving us. It's going to be greatly appreciated, and it's going to be greatly used in our facility. Our building is old, as is a lot of Legions, I would imagine, around the country. And as Diane said, the beauty of speaking second is the first person covers a lot of the salient points, and you can just build on that, and that's good. We also have roof repairs we have to do. We have interior repairs that we're going to need. We need a ceiling in our bar area. It's falling apart. Our games room needs repairs there also. Some of the funds will be used to offset our costs, utilities. They don't ever go down. They continue to go up all the time. We've got some older doors that we have to repair, that we have to replace. Our windows, our building is old enough that our windows are sliders. They're glass on glass. So we all know how efficient they are. So that was on our spotlight to get changed too. So we got to get them worked on also. And we also need some work to do at our back entrance to make it a little more accessible and user-friendly for our members. Our members, again, also thank you all for your generous donation. It's greatly appreciated. And on closing, I'm not going to take up the whole day at this. I want to invite you all, when you get a chance, to come up and visit us. We're always receptive to having people come in and share a Pepsi with us. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you, George. I'm going to have a quick photo op here, and if any members of the media have any questions, if they can use the raise hand feature, and we will get to them. But for our members here, I'll do a quick picture. Everybody smile, and we'll do one more. Excellent. Okay, I know Clark Heipel with Your TV does have a question. But Clark is not
But we don't
there
have
right
Clark,
now, but we don't have
unfortunately.
Clark. So if
Oh, I'm here, Matt.
anybody
I'm
else-
There he is, there he is.
doing double duty. I'm
There he
operating the
is.
control room and I'm doing the anchoring. So
multifaceted, multimedia.
Maybe you should take another picture with Clark in it. This way it'll look more complete.
I was
don't
going
want-
to use my Photoshop skills, but why not? Okay, great. All right, Clark.
fantastic. So Clark here from Cogeco News in North Bay. And my question's both for Mr. MacAulay as well as Speaker of the House, Mr. Rota. These announcements are fantastic. Supporting Legions is just commendable for the government to do. We do know that Legion Branch 23 in North Bay is suffering and it's at the risk of closing. So I was wondering, Mr. Rota and Mr. MacAulay, is 23 receiving any support? Because we've heard from Ontario Command Gary Pond that a January 31st deadline has been issued and we have yet to hear what's happening with their financials and if they're able to stay open.
Clark, have they submitted an application to Dominion Command? Do you know?
I have not followed up since I last spoke to Eileen VO, the president, and that was in mid to late January. So I do not know yet if they have submitted that.
I would urge them to do that. And also it's important to note that about half of the funds have been allocated. So there's a lot of funds left to allocate. So it's vitally important that they do that.
Okay,
We
thank
want
you.
to make sure that the Legions remain open because Anthony can, and I'm sure George and Diane can indicate to you quite clearly how vitally important these centers are for the veterans, but also it's a community center too. So it's, we want to do everything we can.
And I'm
Absolutely.
a proud civilian member of Calendar Legion 445. So this
Very good.
announcement means a lot.
Congratulations.
Mr. Rota, could I ask you that same question as well, please?
Yeah, most definitely. I think the question is the same. I haven't heard from Branch 23 yet, whether they applied or not. And more often than not, once they do apply, then I can help shepherd it through. My understanding, though, is their issues are very severe, and they've been working with this for a couple of years now, and they're looking for a new home as well. So I would love to work with them, and my door is always open, and that's something that they're aware of, and I look forward to helping out any way I can.
Okay, thank you and congratulations to the Legion members for the funding. I will hop back in the control room. Thank you.
Well, Anthony, you and I can work together on that too, as long as they apply.
Okay, that sounds perfect then. Great. And yeah, anything else?
Any other questions? I'm going to make this recording available as well for any other of our media members that we're looking for some quotes as well. So, okay, looks like none. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you
Really
so much.
appreciate it.
Diane, George, Lawrence, thank you very much this morning. It really is great news, and really do appreciate you having you, I guess, in my office this morning.
It is
Thank
great
you so
news, and
much.
thank you. Also,
Thank you.
thank you very much for your work, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yes.
Much appreciated.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.